by the way, after I finish my session, what I do? I send it to my email or to Dropbox. And I can save it to my students where? In Blackboard. Now, what's a good thing about what I do is both notes and videos. And let me show you mine here. So when you go to, okay, it's going to work. All right. Now, this is, section. They have all this, for example, 6.1, the one we used. Now it's an example. Okay? Now this is empty here. Now, when you go down, when you scroll down here, I will go to my notes. And all the notes are saved, class notes, right? Now, why is that important? What if students come late? What if student some students cannot concentrate with when you explain things and they have to write. Some people, they will get lost, So, click 6.1. This is the note here. And this is what I did in class. And by the way, I use the box that I showed you to do this because it's hard to write this, so you need to minimize and write in. And by the way, you can use different colors, so you don't need to use all these markers. Just throw them in the garbage. You don't need them anymore, right? So, this is my notes in class here. Now, when the students go back home, in case if they miss any information, they will see it in Blackboard. What the good thing about it is when we add some videos here. Now let me just. I will talk about videos later. So let me just finish with this Notability, which is very amazing to have all these notes. And imagine if you have the notes for your professor when you were in university, it's all saved. But do you still have any notes from 12th grade, 11th grade? We all throw them in the garbage, We don't have them anymore, right? But when you have this digital stuff, right, you can save them forever, right? Just have it create a folder and you can save all your notes. Especially those who are taking classes in the future are relevant and more advanced than the classes they took before. Well, let's go back to our iPad. Okay. So, we stop at Notability. Well, now we're going to go to iTunes University. I'm going to go to iTunes University, which is the next application. This is amazing. This is your dream. For me, this application just made my dream comes true, right? I took my graduate study from Hunter College in New York, and it was a public school there. It belongs to the City University of New York, and I didn't have a chance to go to Columbia, or go to Harvard, or Oxford, or MIT. Well, why people want to go to these good schools? Why do they want to go there? For two reasons. I'll help you with that, right? The first reason is you get a good job, right? When you got an MBA from Harvard, it's going to make a difference. The companies, they will come to you. You're not going to go to them, right? Well, that's most likely the stereotype. That's exactly what, not 100%, doesn't work for everybody, but still you will have more chances to get a good job. The second reason is, why would you take those classes in those group, most expensive university is to get a good knowledge. Well, I got the first one. I got a good job. I'm working at Qatar University. I'm happy. But the second thing, what I need is the knowledge, extra knowledge. How people teach calculus, for example, in MIT, right? How people teach English, the ESL, chemistry, psychology, education, right? Any subjects you want. And I'll tell you, as I have my graduate study in applied mathematics and statistics, I wish to take microeconomics. And now my dream come true. I can just go to, let's go. I'm going to go to MIT here. Okay. And by the way, you can go by subject. All right. You can just go to more, and you go by subjects. right? Any subject you want. You can go to business area here. Or you can go to, you can pick any school you want. For example, you're going to go to MIT. You can go to MIT. Now we're traveling to Boston and taking class in MIT here, right? And you can see all the courses are available in MIT. Some courses you can save them, and you can save them in your iPad without using internet, by the way. Okay? Like for example, I saved a couple of them, right? And let's suppose I want to take microeconomics here, right? Principle of microeconomics. This is in MIT. And let me just okay, just get 1 second here. Can we do this here? Oh yeah.
Okay? If someone's incredibly rich and they want a body part, which to me is surplus, because I have 2 kidneys, why shouldn't they be allowed to buy it from me? Okay, I'm better off because they can pay me a ton of money. Okay, they're better off because they live. So we've just described a transaction that makes both parties better off. Why shouldn't that be allowed to happen? So you tell me. Does anyone argue, does everyone think eBay was wrong? Yeah, go ahead.
Are we at Qatar University or MIT? Guess what? Well, this is all subjects, by the way, you can see, right? What? Huh? Yeah, see? Well, that's why we're very fortunate that we have professors at Qatar University. We should be happy. And I'll tell you, I taught like in 3 different colleges and universities in the U.S., and I'll tell you, what I've seen here, the facilities available in Qatar University is one of the best facilities. It's compared with, look at MIT here, what they have. And here, what are we using? We use an iPad. We don't use markers. Not even we use a chalkboard there, right? And that's, I'm proud of that, really. We have the best facilities. You know, every single room have a router and projector, and this is great. This is, you know, so we're very fortunate. All right, so let's go back here to, so this is called iTunes University. And that's amazing. You can take any class you want, any subject, you want to take Calculus 1. I want to see the way people teach Calculus in MIT or Harvard, right? And I love MIT because I had a dream to go to MIT. I didn't go to MIT, right? But it's still my dream come true, and you can just like take all the subjects. Okay, so let's go back to the last one I want to talk about, which is the most important for me, is using videos, right? Now, the idea starts from here. If you go to Khan Academy, which is one of beautiful applications using video, you know, first when I told my students, go to Khan Academy, this guy, he created like very nice short videos about mathematics, humanities, science. And the students come up to me and said, well, we don't understand what he's saying because we don't understand English. So what I did is I created videos in Arabic and in English. So the student, when they finish the class, when they go back home, having a cup of tea, relax, they can see their notes available to them, and also they can see videos. Well, let me just, let's talk about Khan Academy. This guy, it's really, look at it. He has all, you know, subjects here, and all, you know, kind of, you know, subjects in mathematics, from applied math, calculus, trigonometric geometry, and so on. Also he has all other subjects, you know, economics, humanities, how to prepare for the test. And this guy, he was a financial analyst, and at some point his cousin asked him for help in mathematics, and he helped her by creating video on YouTube, and he sent her the video, you know, well explained by using this tablet, right? It works out for him, for other members of you know, from his family, and then things is going up, and he's starting creating like videos, free education on YouTube, and everybody was from all over the world you know, learning from him, and he did a really tremendous job. He inspired me, by the way, because I was benefiting. If I want to teach, like, you know, I want to learn about, you know, derivative. The way he explained derivative maybe is different than other professors, and what I'm sorry to say this, the teaching is a tool, for me, it's an art, right? It's not easy. I mean, it's not I'm very sorry to say this, but it's not a question. We had many professors when I was in the U.S. from you know, Harvard, from Yale, from Columbia, from Oxford, and they have like 2 PhDs, 200 papers, But I'm sorry to say this, they don't know how to teach. Now, I don't care what you have. I care what you're going to give me. That's what I care about. That's what the most matters to students, right? Now, it's how we teach, how we deliver the message. That's what's important. And by using technology, we can get all this knowledge. We can see the way people teach, and we can learn from others. And don't say, well, I'm a doctor, I'm a professor. I'm not going to relate to this guy has a master's degree, will teach me how to teach. No. It shouldn't work that way. But, we are learning. We should be humble and to learn from others. No matter what kind of education. Maybe he has a bachelor's, but he can teach better than you. I'm sorry to say this, but this is true, and it's fact. But so technology will help you to do so, right? Will help us all to learn from others. Now, let me go to my life paper, which is something that I achieved in using. Now, if you go to life paper, by the way, again, there are two kinds of applications. There's one for free. Now, for free, just stay away from it. It's not going to help you with anything, right? You got to pay a little bit, $5.99. This is the most expensive application that I paid. It's only $5.99. So it costs you about maybe less than 20 riyals Qatari, right? Because before I tried this, you gotta have Camtasia, by the way, if you don't use this, all right? You don't use regular. You can have Camtasia and tablets. You can buy it from Jarir store. It will cost you minimum $350 to $400 to $500. So the total will be about maybe $1,000. Well, this one cost me about $5.99, right? Now, when you go to this application, and before I do this, let me show you kind of my video that I created to my students in Blackboard again. Now, besides when they go back home, they have notes available to them. They will also see videos available to them. Now, let me just show you one of the videos they have. When you go to, okay. Now, also I created a video for my student. And let's do section 5.1. And by the way, even preparation for the final exam, exam review, you have about maybe 22 videos for review for the exam, okay? Now let's pick one of the section here, and let's go to section 5.1, for example, okay? And they need to have this. Wait a second, let me just. All right, let me just have the song here. Now, this is one of
today we're going to talk about rules of exponent. As before we take some examples, we need to get familiar with some rules. Well, let's get to rule number one. Let's talk about product of the product of exponents. Well, let's suppose we have x to the a times, let me just fix that one. All right. Now, dot in the middle means multiplication. Times x to the b equals x to the a plus b. Right? So we're just going to add both exponents. For example, if you have 2 to the third power times 2 to the fifth power, right? Now this is 2.
This is an example. I don't want to spend too much time, but just to show you. And also, I did it in Arabic. The students also can choose Arabic version, especially those who don't speak Arabic, and you can see the one in Arabic, for example. This is kind of a little bit in English and Arabic, but with Arabic they can understand it, right? So.
Okay, نكمل في الفيديو اللي عملنا بتاع البارابولا. وقفنا عند الاكزامبل الثاني بتاع البارابولا. Okay, عندك sketch the graph of the parabola y equals 1 over 8x squared and identify its vertex and focus. Okay, عندنا المعادلة. المعادلة ما دام أنا عندنا x تربيع فبتفكرنا في x تربيع.
Okay, so this is in yes, good. Well, that's a good question. That's what I'm going to talk about it right now. Yeah, that's what I'm going to show you the secret how I do it. So, first, yeah, that's a good, and that's the hardest part of my job. It's to find a hiding place, quiet place, how to record it. Now, if I want to code it at home, I have to wake up at 5 o'clock.